What's up, everybody? Sean here with another Live to Roll. We got a great show for you today. Going to be talking some autonomic dysreflexia, AD for most of us, as we refer to it. But if you guys have any questions or any comments, definitely drop them in the chat below. Love to hear from you. And we'll introduce ourselves and let our awesome guest Derek introduce himself as well. But I am Sean. I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident 21 years ago. Bobby, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sean. I'm Bobby Rohan, C5, C6 quadriplegic. 36 yeah, 36 years, I think it is. God, is it 36? I can't remember.
I think
Whatever
you're
it
at
is.
36 years. Yeah, because you were just at
I'm going to say 36. Jeez. I just like all of a sudden, I'm like, what? That number didn't sound right. But oh, well, whatever it is. I'm here in Fountain Valley next to Huntington Beach. Somebody's like, I heard you said you lived in Huntington Beach, but I'm right on the border. I always say Huntington Beach because everybody knows that city a little bit more than Fountain Valley, but I'm in Fountain Valley. Enough about me. Hey, on to our good old guest. He's always in our chat. This is second or third time on our show. Second.
I think second now.
Second.
Second. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Derek, take it away.
What's up, everybody? Derek from West Virginia, C4, C5 quad for 16 years from a shallow diving accident. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, man, thanks for joining us. And I wanted to invite you on for the AD show because you've been dealing with quite a bit of AD this whole last year. So, like, lots of different blood pressure issues and stuff. So let's get into that and not only AD, if you guys have any other questions about just blood pressure in general, because as quads, we typically have very low blood pressure. So that's the balance. Like for me, I'm always fluctuating between super low and then getting spikes of autonomic dysreflexia, spikes of AD, or my blood pressure is spiking like
Yep.
crazy.
Sean, you have yours wrong. It's super low, then super low, then it's almost passing out low, and then you might have some AD.
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty accurate.
funny. It's funny when you bring that up because I'm watching Sean doing the lean, and you have Robert, you have one your lean too, and I do the same thing, man. I do the forward lean, trying to get my blood pressure up. Like when you're feeling a little low, trying to kick in a spasm.
Yep, that's exactly what.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's a because when you're low, the spasm really does help. Like it triggers that little bit. It gets a little bit of blood flowing through, going through you, and it's nice. Yeah,
that
but
little
that's
that little boost you need.
This is
and we
mine.
definitely all do it. Yeah, that's Bobby's. Derek,
Yeah,
I saw
right.
yours. You did like the lean forward. I do both. Like I do lean back, and then I kind of do like little side and front leans.
And once in
Yeah,
a while, I do
it's
this.
natural.
Yeah, I do that. Back for the
It,
longest time when I was younger, I used to do this a lot. And
that's the one I
everybody,
see you doing too.
yeah, everybody asked me, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. It just,
Well,
It
no, because
feels good.
I see what you're doing when you're twisting like that. You're kind of twisting your stomach a little bit, right? You're kind of triggering a little, because that's what I do sometimes. I have my elbow to my side sometimes, and I'll kind of like dig in and like kind of want to trigger that too, that same kind of like core spasm. And so for people that are unfamiliar, let's just give a quick kind of brief rundown. Um,
Yeah.
we typically, as quadriplegics, and a lot of people deal with this as well, but we have low blood pressure constantly. We're constantly like, mine is typically like 85 over 65. Like, that's like my average, like rolling around blood pressure typically. And it's between that and like maybe 100, like 100 to like and like 70 or so, like in that range. Um, and then what autonomic dysreflexia is, again, we'll just give like just general rundown. That's actually when somebody like us or anybody with a spinal cord injury, T6 and above, I believe. And then also I've found out that some people with spina bifida and other things do also have very similar things, but autonomic dysreflexia is your body's autonomic response to pain or some sort of sensory thing that you can't feel. Something going on in your
Yeah,
so it's
and
spiking your blood pressure.
in some ways
yeah,
too, Sean. Um, a dysreflexia can also be like a phantom pain, believe it or not. So phantom pain, you know, where you think your legs or your body's doing something, but it really isn't. But you're on hyper awareness. Just it could be anything. Just your body says, like if, before our injury, would we do like stand up and just went, oh, okay, and sit down, right? And so that's what our body's
Yeah,
trying to tell us to do.
yeah. Whenever you feel any type of pain below your level of injury, that signal goes to your spinal cord. Your spinal cord then reacts and sends a signal back to the area of pain and tells those blood vessels in that area to constrict. And that's what raises your blood pressure. But it also sends a message straight up to your brain. And your brain is the one that, says, oh, it's not that bad. You're not bleeding to death. Calm down, and then your blood vessels relax. But since we have a spinal cord injury, that connection's not there. So those vessels don't have anything to tell them to just calm down. So they just continue to constrict and raise your blood pressure.
Nice. That's a good way. That's actually well explained, Derek. Thanks, man. Um, yeah, and so that's exactly what's happening. So that's what's happening in our bodies, and it's hard to deal with most of the time, especially like when you go from a low to a high, and then you end up back in a low, and your just body's all over the place. It's really hard to manage. So Derek, you've been for like a year now dealing with some AD issues, right? Um, what's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on? Like what's
Yeah,
Well, my start kind of at the beginning. My first experience with AD was within my first year. My injury, and this was because I was constipated. And there's so many different anything that's going to cause you discomfort below the level of injury is a source for it. But anyway, it was terrible. The experience, my first experience with it was like someone scooping my brain out of my head and throwing it up against a wall repeatedly, just every time my heart beat. Like, I don't know how I did not have a stroke, but I was so early in my injury that I didn't realize what was going on. Like I didn't have that experience with it. I just like, whatever. This was just part of the injury. I didn't take it serious, but luckily I got that worked out, and it subsided. But recently, this past year, I was getting like really, really bad panic feeling, and just not feeling right, and the sweats and everything. And I was honestly, I didn't check my blood pressure. I thought it was low blood pressure because the symptoms were all the same. I was getting dizzy, and so I'm actually doing. I was doing stuff to try to raise my blood pressure because I had no idea. I wasn't checking it. Drinking salt water, trying to lay down flat, and all I was doing was making it much, much worse. So I finally, my mom was like, "Listen, we got to take your blood pressure. I don't. Something's not right. You're not getting. This isn't getting better." And we took it. It was really high. It was like 160 over 120, and yeah, so that's where it started. I went to the emergency room, and it's just been a battle. Like, usually it's one of three things. The top thing is going to be your bladder. A full bladder is usually the number one cause always. But and then you go to your skin, and then the bowels. Those are the top three. But for me, we've run every single test you could think of, and we still can't figure out what's causing it.
yeah.
It's been a year now. Yeah.
oh,
So and you're right. You're absolutely right. Those three are, maybe the top three, and we can go into some more little details. But I would say, Derek, not our bladder is that one that uh, can get relief at the quickest, right? It's just either empty a bag, cath, whatever it may be. I think some of that AD could be a UTI, right? They're, when somebody AB, especially for a female, they're like, oh, it feels like a bad stomach ache or a bad cramp, right? So that can be an AD that's causing us. But I think more, what really could be the harder part to figure out, because and then skin you can check, right? So bladder, you empty,
No.
maybe you have a UTI, and then skin, we can check our skin. A little irritated or a redness or nothing. Now you're going, okay, so bowel, right? Really, we don't know if we're constipated or not. You can be pooping and be constipated. You're
Good
like,
point.
I
That's
think
very
I have
true.
a regular bowel movement, but in some, you can still be constipated, and your body's still
Yep.
saying, "Hey, something's not right." And so, I think one of the harder ones to diagnose is that bowel. Um,
Yeah.
and then along with the bowels is what, irritation around the anus, the hemorrhoids,
That's yeah.
little things like
Yeah.
that, or
And
even
kidney
those,
stones.
yeah,
No,
even those that do ditch stem, you know, um, that's an irritation.
yeah, no, the ditch stem is
Oh yeah.
definitely all that is for sure. And that's what I was going to say. You could have, like you were saying, you could have like a partial blockage somewhere up in your system and still be going, like, you still are having bowel movements, but you're extremely uncomfortable because there's still something that's not getting through, up there. Like, it might be letting some other stuff by, but not every, like there's still a little minor blockage. Um, and that's what I've wondered sometimes, because I have really good bowel care and bowel movements and everything, and like it's been great for me. But I will still sometimes have like a lot of it I think is just diet, and I'm trying to figure out what those things are causing. But like I will get like bad bloating and like feeling of AD.
Oh
Like
yeah.
sometimes I won't even feel like I have gas or bloating, but I'm just like just getting AD anytime like my stomach or my catheter or anything is like touched or moved or anything like that. Like it's so hypersensitive, and I'm getting like an AD spike if I'm
Yep.
literally like moving the catheter tube, or like picking my shirt up to take my shirt off, like, and rubbing my stomach like as I do it. It'll like send me into a thing. So yeah, so I'm still trying to figure that out a little bit. What exactly is like so sensitive in there for me on that, but yeah, it's one of the challenges I think we all deal with.
Um, there's a good question here
We got a
by
couple,
Lynn.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think Lynn, at first it got cut off, but now we got it. How do I get the intake nurse and the ED to understand that 60 over a high blood pressure, probably 100, 120, is getting dangerous for me? So, um, a couple ways. One, tell them,
Yeah.
be a doctor and start Googling something, and it's called you know,
Yeah.
Autonomic Dysreflexia. Can you go look that up on your computer that you guys are on most of the time when I'm sitting there looking at the nurse's station? So that's one,
That's funny.
right? No, not to be like, you got Dr. Google, but there are also, and I don't know, Sean, if you still give this out or have access, but I know you can get it at Christopher Reeves Foundation, and I believe you can get it at uh, Craig Hospital,
Craig's one.
their website. But look it up. It's a dysreflexia card that you can print out and cut into a card size, wallet size. I have one in mind that I just actually replaced. I'm sorry?
Go in the grocery store.
Thanks. As my wife's talking to me, can you get that dysreflexia in my wallet for me, please?
Oh, the thing I put in your wallet?
Yeah. But Sean, are you still getting those out?
Yeah,
And
no,
maybe
I still get them printed and have them, and we give them out at events. And I'm trying to figure out a way to just have it so we're trying to get it on the website so that people can just download and print it, or even honestly, like anytime somebody orders something, I always put AD cards in the package as well. So that's another way.
little
Yeah. So if you guys,
little fish
I'll give
people.
you. I actually got to reach out. Tommy Hollenstein actually just reached out to me and called me and asked if he could have a few of them because he had some nurses and some people he wanted to give them out to. So honestly, if you are in an area and you need like a bunch of them, you want some to give out, reach out to me and we can figure something out to where I can send you some. But also, yeah, Christopher
And,
Reeve Foundation does print
This
some.
is my Ivana, and so
Ivana. Who's Ivana?
or what's her girl from?
Oh, Vanna
Vanna,
White.
Vanna.
Vanna.
Oops.
or yeah,
But,
there it
but
is.
this is one that I printed out.
Oh,
No,
here
it's
I
from the
can.
Christopher Reeves Foundation, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
we printed it out and cut
Yeah.
it.
Right.
This one was actually Craigslist. I found this one a little bit easier to print out.
On
So-
Craigslist?
No,
What'd you
not
say?
Craigslist.
Oh.
Craig's Hospital.
Oh, you said Craigslist. Okay, bye.
So it got me off.
Yeah,
But and it
they
was
also
that. There you go.
Sorry.
But
Yep.
it just has the explanation, and the best thing to say is literally my body's trying to tell me something, and I know they're going through and they're like, I don't see anything. Now, if you're at a good ER, they're probably going to maybe do a CAT scan, especially of maybe your bowels and some X-rays, because it doesn't show, but you can even have a little twisted ankle, and
Yeah.
that can cause some AD.
Craig also has a SCI nurse line that people can call for advice, and I think it's mostly for physicians and nurses to call. But that's definitely a good source. Like if you have somebody that needs educated on AD and they aren't taking you serious as a patient, you can have them call that line, and the nurse, the SCI nurse, will really break it down for them and describe it. But I'll print out the whole clinical description of autonomic dysreflexia, like in their terms, and just give them that whole printout when I go, and so that way so they take it serious, because I've been gaslit so many times going to the emergency room with it, where they just they see high blood pressure there all the time, and it's not really serious for somebody that's able-bodied, but for us to have that kind of blood pressure spike, it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, exactly.
I mean, there's so many things. Ingrown toenails, your shoelaces could be tied. I have a new helper of 4 months. She's awesome. She's actually, our daughter-in-law has been helping out, and here she is, and sometimes I see her tying my shoe, and she goes, "Whoa." I'm like, whoa, 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 not so hard. A little easier. She's like, "Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting about that." And Lynn, I am so sorry. They don't get it, and that's called, being ridiculous that nurses and doctors are not listening to you, because the warning signs on the first one that says sudden rise in blood pressure. You just explained that your normal is 90/60, I believe you said, and anything 20 to 40 symbolic over that is not normal, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and
Mark.
150, anything 150 or above is a significant episode that needs, treatment, especially if it stays there. But you have to be careful, because you don't want to, when you're taking your blood pressure, you need to do it, wait a few minutes, do it a few times, because I've had mine shoot up, and then it can also rebound back down really low, really fast. So, yes, it's really a balancing act.
Yeah, and that actually can feel worse sometimes than it being high. Because I know some people, one of their repertoires of trying to lower it is put on a little nitro paste.
Yeah, the nitro.
Yep, that's the best stuff.
It is the best, but it's too good sometimes, and very little. I mean, you just want to rub on and the first time, we put it on, and it didn't feel like it was too much, but oh my God, I had never felt so much pain dropping so fast.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was, Sean always has this, which is your low blood pressure, right, Sean?
Yeah.
And a lot of us, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, or just say 100%, Bobby, but a lot of it is after we eat.
Oh yeah.
All that blood goes to our stomach, and our blood pressure goes, and especially if you go to a restaurant and then you get in your car and you drive home,
Oh yeah.
you're like, woo. So I'm always telling, whenever I have low blood pressure, I tell my wife, please start pulling the hair out of my legs, and she's just trying to pull it to cause something, because that's one that I work with, trying to get my blood pressure to go up. Or, we talk about the lean, but I do this a lot.
Yep.
I just
I
kind of
do
hit
my stomach. I try not to hit it that hard anymore, but I will. I've done that, especially when driving. I will like rub down near my like catheter in my belly, like, and it will sometimes get me to like trigger a little spasm down there, get a little AD spike,
Shit,
and
while
like
you're
pop that blood pressure
shit, man,
back.
you don't want to do that while you're driving.
Hey
That's
man,
dangerous.
I get so low when I'm driving. Well, I get so low when I'm driving that's dangerous too. So don't tell anybody from the DMV about this.
yeah.
That's funny.
And where
So
are you from,
Hey,
son?
man.
Did you say down where? Lower where?
me, I rub my low belly or like right above the catheter, like right on
Where?
like on my
Where?
waistline,
Come on, tell the
right in my
truth.
pubic area.
I'm not riding with you ever. Passing out on me.
Hey, Leah's scared to death
Oh
every
no.
single time we get in the car.
What I'll do
Oh,
actually
I'm
really?
an
sometimes
excellent driver.
is I take my leg and I'll back and forth like this when I'm driving. Sometimes I'm just like, I got my when I'm on the straightaway, and I'm just start whacking the side to try to create some kind of spasms, because when I get a little bit of a good spasm, it helps with the blood pressure as well.
Yeah, no, the spasm helps for sure. I used to do that in the old van, but I actually don't want to do that in the new van that we have, because now that it has the little safety, it has a safety little lever that you can, if you push it in, it stops the hand control from working. It takes away your gas. Yeah, there's like a safety little thing that you're supposed to, you can push it in and out to turn off the ability to use the gas on the hand control. It's a newer, it wasn't on my old van, but it's on this van. And my knee bumps it all
Nice.
the time. That's what me and Leah didn't know what it was. The first time it happened at an intersection. I'm literally the first car at the light at the intersection. Goes green. I click let go of the brake, and I go to push the gas, and it won't go. And I thought my leg was blocking it. I'm like, is my leg in the way of the thing? Can you see? Can you fix my leg? And she's down there trying to fix my leg, and we don't know what the hell's going on. And then like
That's funny.
idling across yeah, it was a mess. Like, but but now my knee will bump that if I spasm too much, and it's happened a few times while driving, and I've had to be like, hey babe, can you reach over and pop that? And she can, like, while we're driving, just pull a little lever back, but like I can't. I gotta pull over. If I was a I'd have to be.
That they need to do. They need to either relocate that a little bit different so you don't bump that all. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I
That's
know.
Right?
that's actually like if you're by yourself and you accidentally bump that.
Yeah, no, it sucks because you literally, I would have to just do what I
Yeah.
can, because the brake will still work. So I can still brake the car, but I can't give it any gas. So like I can at least stop or pull over or whatever. But yeah, I just know.
Yeah, no bueno. You
But
gotta.
yeah, and actually Mark dropped in there, lifting my balls when I'm sitting is a surefire way. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done that many a times with the ball. So ladies, I don't know what you guys
That'll
can
give you
do,
some.
I
but
know, lady, sorry, but yes, Mark, that does work.
Yeah,
uh,
that'll give you some AD.
yeah. I actually used to, when I first started playing rugby years ago, I there used to be this thing in the rugby community. They called it boosting, which I hope it's not a thing anymore. I don't really, but they called it boosting, where people would do things to intentionally spike their AD, which in like Paralympic games, like drastic things like breaking a pinky toe. But in everyday games, dudes would sit on their balls intentionally to get AD while they're playing, so that their body is in the,
Oh,
because it increases your blood pressure, your circulation kind of I don't know, because having the 80, that's what everyone used to talk about, and I was like, I'm not sitting on my balls. I am sorry.
I'm
So I
just saying,
never I
I
never
can
engaged in the boosting.
They would take
I can't
Sudafed. I remember that. They would take Sudafed. I'm like,
I can't figure out the
Sudafed, I remember
logistics.
that. Yeah.
sorry, I'm sorry, Derek.
Go
What
ahead.
were you saying?
No, no, I wouldn't be able to figure out that kind of positioning to intentionally do it.
Yeah,
Set on
I
my
know.
balls. I mean, it
Or
takes
like that.
freaking
I'm
work
talking
trying to.
like, here, let me stretch it. I'm like that.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to go over. Like, oof. I don't know who you were playing with there, Sean. Jeez. Here, I'm gonna lift up. Can
You got
you
a
hold
sack,
something
buddy.
for me backwards?
Nah, yeah, I don't know, and but that's I remember hearing that stuff and just being like, nah, that's great. I don't want to do all that.
That's hardcore.
But yeah, but there are lots of little things, like Bobby said, pulling the hairs out of his legs. There are little things you can do that's not super terrible, but will give you maybe a quick boost in your blood pressure if you need it.
Hmm.
Leah
Yeah, I'll
said,
have someone shake my legs too. Oh, sorry, Rob.
no,
uh,
I was responding to Leah's chat saying, you don't want to be a winner?
no, not that bad.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are some real life things that people have done and do. So let's talk about somebody also earlier in the chat. I think John mentioned wearing a binder. Oh yeah, an elastic binder.
Yeah.
And that's actually
Yeah.
something that I don't typically do a lot in like everyday life in the chair. But for driving, I have started, especially if I'm driving more than like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Like when we just went to Joshua Tree or like anything like that, I will get the really bad lows. Like, and usually I'm okay for the first 15 minutes or so, but I don't know what happens. I just dip and I get super, super low. So I have started wearing a binder when I'm driving a lot of times now. So
Hmm.
that's one time I use
Yeah,
that.
we'll have to ask. I've had to do that. It's been a while, but I used to have to say to a passenger a lot of times, the wife who's next to me, I'm like, sorry, I'm not going to be talking, because when you talk and you're driving, your blood pressure starts
Yeah, it
going
goes
down.
down.
Yeah, and so I've had to say, I'm like, I'm just going to be quiet. And Sean, I'm sure you're like me. Um, Trust me, if you're starting to see those white speckles, um, pull over. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, don't. I mean, yes, and Ken, yeah, my insurance company is about to call me now too. Um, but I have like going. I wonder if I'm going to get through these white little speckles right now.
I've
And
I've
so
had that, and I have been in the car, especially earlier on, um, where I have been in my by myself in the car and just had like I knew I had to pull over, like either get off the freeway or even I actually one time have had to. I pulled over on the freeway, like I couldn't even make it to where the exit was. I knew it was going to be unsafe to do so, so I just immediately like made my way to the shoulder and pulled over and just like put it in park and let myself get like super low. And like I've literally been to where like I passed out before, where like, I laid my head on the side and like fell asleep for like 5 minutes because my body was so like drained.
Yeah.
I don't know, like where it's like, oh, and then I will wake up and feel better and have been able to either snack on something or but like Bobby said, even that sometimes, because sometimes it'll be low because I'm hungry, I'm kind of weak. That'll add to the low. But the problem is when you do eat something, it helps, but you also get low from your body digesting. So it's like kind of like that catch 22 where it's like it helps, but not immediately. You're gonna have to give it a second.
Jay has. I used to get sweating AD that indicated the full bladder, but it stopped randomly. Now I have no idea when it's full. Have you guys had any changes in AD? Start with you, Sean.
I actually have. So yeah, I personally have gone over these last years, especially probably the last like maybe 5, 6 years or so. I felt like I've gotten more like sensation, like discomfort through my body, like nerve pains and things, which has also translated to more AD and just pain um, in general. And I get a lot more abdominal, like pressure, pain feeling things all the time now. And like, and I've had, I thought maybe it was, for a period like a UTI or different things, and it wasn't. My bladder's healthy. Like you said, Bobby, I was having regular bowel movements. That's why I didn't know if there was possibly like a partial obstruction, something just causing discomfort. But I've and it's been still steadily increasing and kind of getting worse almost for the last all these years now. These last like 5-6 years. So yeah, what about you guys, Derek?
Sorry, I had loud noise going on in the background. I had to
Okay.
mute for a minute.
Okay.
Did you hear the question, Derek? If your AD has changed over time?
Yeah, mine's gotten definitely worse. It, yeah, it's just I think I'm more sensitive now. I don't know if it's because of maybe arthritis in my hips or some other issues, but I feel like I'm more sensitive to it. You know what I mean?
But
Just in
has
general, but
has like
it could be that.
he was saying that Jay was saying that he used to get sweating when his bladder was full, but now it's changed and he doesn't know when his bladder's full because that sweating doesn't happen anymore. Has that happened to you?
Yep. Yeah, I don't sweat with this that I have it now. Now I do sometimes with the bowel program, but the AD that I've been experiencing for this past year, I don't sweat at all, and I don't even get the goosebumps. It's just
Huh.
all the other symptoms. But yeah, I don't sweat with it. It's really weird. I used to just get drenched in sweat, whenever the AD would kick in, but now it doesn't.
Yeah,
I wonder
mine is
why.
my sweating AD is blood pressure low, sweat goes. So laying on my side, which I hate because I will drench the bed if I lay on my left or right side, just drench. Um, and
Uh, Sounds
because,
like your hips.
yeah, and I just, you want to get relief off your bottom. It just, it's just not a good position. I mean, I can do it for an hour. And then, when you're trying to go to sleep, that first 4 hours is really the most important part of your sleep. And you just hate
Yeah.
waking up after an hour. So, and then now I get it when I guess my colostomy is going, my pooping's going. All of a sudden I'll be like, ooh, why am I sweating on the, and it's always, Jay, let me know, was yours always on the right side? Mine's always been on the right side. Um, I have some hats that have all these sweat stains on the right side and nothing on the left. I don't know if you have that, Derek. Yeah, Derek. But it's just weird.
Do you have that?
Do you have a HO in your hip, the heterotopic
On the
ossification?
Yeah, on the right side.
Yeah, me too.
I have broken hip on
And
the
I'm
left
wondering,
and then HO on the right. So yeah,
oh,
What is that? I actually don't. The HO on
go
the
for
hip.
it, Derek.
it is after a spinal cord injury, it's pretty common. It's just like bone growth in the soft tissue. And it happens a lot in the joints and stuff, but it's just a reaction, and they really don't know much about it, why it happens in people with spinal cord injuries, but it just does. And yeah, usually around the hips, the elbows, and stuff. But
Mm.
it's really difficult to get surgically removed. They usually won't do it unless it messes with your mobility, like your range of motion. But it can also be a source of autonomic dysreflexia because it can cause pain. If you're maneuvering around, or like Bobby said, laying on his side, that could be, because that's bone's not supposed to be there, just growing in the soft tissue.
Yeah, so heterotopic out how to topic uh,
Ossification.
obfuscation. I always forget the obfuscation. Um, But what I was told is like you said, Derek, right when we get hurt, right, we're active, we're moving all the time. So you got calcium, especially if it happens a lot more in the folks that are younger when they got a lot of this extra calcium that it's just working on your bones. Hey, we got this. We're making everything strong. Body is strong. And then all of a sudden, boom, you stop. Everything stops in your body and you're down. And so the calcium goes, holy cow, where do we go? Because he's not moving his ankles. He's not moving his arms. He's not moving his shoulders. He's not moving his hips. But when you're in the hospital, what's the first thing they start doing? They start doing a little bit of range of motion. So they're getting your leg up and they're doing this. And so calcium goes, oh, okay, let's go there. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if you know how you noticed it, Derek, but my mom came in and all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, your right hip is like swollen. I think you did something wrong. Took x-rays and nope. And then they said, oh yeah, you got HO.
Okay.
Yep. Same thing.
And so what they do, and then what they do in the hospital is they start giving you, I think it's blood thinners, right? I know it was shots in the stomach. That burn, it was the weirdest feeling.
I got
you
those.
Start out with the shots in the stomach.
Yeah.
I actually did get those, the shots in the stomach, the blood thinner, but I thought that was more for me. I remember them saying like more just for like, in case of blood clot, like it was just sort of a normal precaution because I was laying whatever so much. So they gave me the blood thinners. But yeah, I actually don't remember them saying anything about that, or I don't have any like major weird things sticking out, I don't think, except for on my shoulders back here. I do have a weird calcium bone little thing that's like right here, but I always just thought that was the little bit of like tendonitis. I have that on my elbow.
What about that toenail?
What?
What about that toenail?
Oh, my toenail.
The toenail that you
had. Now you cut off.
No, it's like, it's honestly about like close to a half-inch thick at this point. I should probably take a picture, document it. Guys.
Sean, we gotta trade pictures, man. I'm going through the same thing on my left toe. You jinxed me. Damn it. After you brought it up, mine started doing that. Now, yeah.
It's like kind of stacking on itself, like it's not growing out.
Yes.
Dude.
No. And I thought it was going to fall off, man. I thought it was going to fall off, and it's not.
It should fall off.
Mine fell off once.
I like it.
Yeah, my podiatrist said if you have that second layer that goes over the top, it should eventually fall off.
Mine's like 80, 100 layers deep. Like it's just stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking, and it's fallen off once, but that was probably like 7-8 years ago, and it's just been stacking ever since. Like I'm probably going a layer at least a few layers a year. I don't know, like there's a lot of layers.
Kind of like tree rings, man. You can date that thing.
It honestly does look like a fossil. That's what when it fell off the first time. I was like, "Is that a dinosaur toe?"
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I don't think they're everywhere, but for those that are in Southern California, there is a cat tape laying all around, or cat tongue tape, but it's called any foot or anywhere foot and ankle care. So they come out to your house. Your podiatrist come out to your house. And so here's the number, 310-750-4511. And they take all the insurances. So it's nice. I don't have, I got somebody that comes to my house. It takes 15 minutes. Because what I get is my toenails curling back into my toes, the top of my toes. And I think I know why. Because when I go up, get in my car seat and I move forward, my feet hang off my foot, the foot plate there just a little bit. And then it kind of crunches up to the, where just underneath the gas pedal. And so I think because of that, the toenails just start growing downwards into my feet.
That's crazy. So, Willie just put in the chat, that he had his big toenails removed, and that's what Leah wants me to do because the one is like that. The other side has like progressively gotten more and more curved. It's like somebody was trying to curve the bill on their hat, like, and they just kept going and going until they reached their nose, and they just got it. And like it's if she cuts it too short, it will start to like almost look like one ingrown. Like so, it has to be like beyond the toe because it's
Yeah.
like so curvature like um but yeah, so I actually have thought about that, and I'm gonna maybe see a podiatrist about having them removed, like, and hopefully just not dealing with the toenails at all.
Um,
Yeah, I'm in that camp too. I'm thinking about it.
um, we took a right or a left turn somewhere, and I just
I know.
we were talking about Jay's question. Your dysreflexia changing, that's common. Another reason why I would just wanted to bring this up. Dysreflexia can change over time because of aging process, in the sense that your body can either start recognizing what that might be and saying, "Oh, I don't need to tell you anymore because you kind of take care of that UTI or that full bladder. So we're not going to indicate that anymore." So your body does start getting used to certain things, which good and bad. So like if you're for you, I'm sure Jay, you're like, damn, now I don't even know when I have a full bladder. I mean, you probably indicate a little bit, but not like you used to. So um, that's what I found. I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but that's what I found.
Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to get back on that. I
yeah,
know
no, that's good to get back because we are
yeah.
getting already. This went by super fast. We're already got like 10 minutes or so left here, so probably get back on topic is a good idea. I forget if there was. I think there was something else I wanted to quickly also mention. From the chat. Oh, the John earlier had that's what it was. The he mentioned midodrine, and for people that don't know what that is, it is for people that have low blood pressure. So it actually brings your blood pressure
Yeah.
up to a different average. And yeah, John says it's been working
Yeah.
good for him. I haven't done it, and my fear for doing it because I am like low all the time, but I also have daily spikes of AD and
Yeah.
sometimes where I
It'll make
get
it
like
worse.
a headache where it gets strong for a minute, like it gets like they'll
I
and
know.
I'm just afraid of what that would do on something that's
It
increasing
will.
my blood pressure.
I've tried to give
It'll.
Sean a couple of those Metadrin, and he's like,
I haven't
yeah. But here's something, Sean.
Yeah.
Talk to a cardiologist about it. And here's what my cardiologist did. This is going to sound crazy. He gave me a Metadrin and a Cardizin. Cardizin is going to make it go down, but you think like, wait, no, 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 no. But what it does is it helps counterbalance and regulate you just a little bit more. So now I don't have, I mean, I still have the drops, but not as much because my cardiologist said I'm gonna make you take both, and so I take both of them once in the morning and once at night.
Derek, are you taking either of those or do you use Midodrine?
No, I didn't take it because I was like you. You said it. I'm afraid of it stacking on top of when I have a spike because the when you do have AD, whatever, however many points the Midodrine adds onto your top number, your systolic blood pressure, it also is added on to when you have AD to that top number. So like if you're going up, if it brings you up from say 85 to like 95, you're gonna that those 15 points are still going to be there when you have the AD. So if you're usually going to go up to like 140, instead you're going to go up to 155 on your top number. So that's just
Right.
you just have
So
to be
yeah,
careful
maybe
with it.
I might be interested in talking to a cardiologist about like what Bobby said, doing like where they do the balancing out thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It helped a
Yeah,
lot more than just taking the Metadrin. Um,
But
it
yeah, because
it
that's
made a world of a difference for I get the drops, but not they're a much shorter period of time. I know that you can take a video of or look at this recording tonight on how much I'm doing this compared to when we first started this show. And when we first started this show, every time Sean did it, and then when Sean wasn't doing it, I was doing it again. We were both, I don't know how people were tuning in of us going, "Hey, what's up, everybody?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I get dizzy, you know, especially if I'm out. Like if you're out in the sun in the heat,
Oh, the
just
heat.
the heat alone, the sun is a diovasculator or vascodilator. It expands the blood vessels and drops the blood pressure really bad. Which actually I use the heat in the sun to fight AD sometimes to bring my blood pressure down. If I'm inside and I have AD, I'll go out in the heat and that'll drop it down. But just
Oh,
if I'm out in the heat talking to somebody, I start getting the losing the vision, the blood pressure drops, and then the passing out. You know.
Yeah, that used to happen to me in the heat, but not as much anymore.
yeah. You know what? Also, it reminds me of Willie. I think is still in the chat. Willie Bozeman. He also I knew him from playing rugby. He lives up in like Idaho area, but he's also like C4 or 5. And I remember Willie's one of the guys that would literally be like a lizard in the sun in between every single. He'd be out in his power chair, tipped back, reclined, and just completely sunbathing. Because like again, he was one of the guys I remember always suffered from really really low blood pressure. And I think he's more about your level, like that C4 5. So yeah, just he's on Instagram too. If you ever want to reach out, Willie's a cool dude, and I don't know, might have some advice and things
Oh
for
yeah,
some stuff like that.
yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
and before we log off, it's getting that time, and I can't believe an hour has just flown by. Ken, in our chat for you, Derek was wondering about your chair, your lithium batteries. I don't know if you just want to say a couple things about your batteries. Have you noticed with your lithium batteries going any further? And anything else I'm missing, Ken, let me know. But I believe that was his question.
Oh yeah, I I built the battery, which it compared to your normal batteries that come in your chair, it's much it goes way farther. I could probably get 40 miles out of mine, but I have a really heavy chair and it's kind of hard to judge how many miles you can get out of a lithium battery from chair to chair because they all weigh different, and you just really have to test it out, and because the gauges on our joysticks for lithium batteries aren't very accurate because they'll read full until your battery's almost completely dead and then it'll start to drop your so you have to go out and see how many miles you can go until that battery or until the gauge starts to drop a little bit, then you're getting it's time to get home. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's good advice for the lithium. That's wild though that it won't read until like it's gonna be dead. That makes it a little hard to. But that's cool to get that long of a life out of it. Just try
Yeah,
to.
you just have to record your miles for a few times and just keep within your range, record your miles, and keep an eye on the battery gauge.
Okay.
Yeah, you start to get to know about it. Like that also goes for my hand cycling. Um, I always know I have this indicator when I'm, and it's an e-bike for anybody wondering what I'm talking about. So it's an assistance, and it gets me going and to stay at a constant speed, and I don't have to worry about hills compared to just a regular hand cycle. On my e-bike, I have two of them now. On my new one, it says 100%, right? And I'm going, so I'm at 19 miles, and all of a sudden it will go from 100 to 80. And it always does the 20 increments. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to get about 19, right? Nope. Then at mile 24, it goes from 80 to 60 just like that. And it's like, wait, why'd you jump down now so quick? But then from 60 to 40, it lasts now another 12 miles. It's just funny how, and now I'm just used to how it's going to drop.
Yeah. Yeah, you just get used to it. Like you said, you just kind of learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's crazy for I have the emotion, so I have a lithium battery also as well in my like it's a small whatever lithium battery, but I've talked to so many people that seem to like have to charge their batteries every couple days, and I push quite a bit. But the one thing is, like when I'm here at home, I have them off. So I actually just keep them off. So I'm just kind of pushing around heavy wheels because I have hard floors here and it's flat and it's easy. Um, but man, I can get like a week out of my wheels charge, like, and that's like a couple miles a day usually. Um, I mean, that's not like the power chair like you guys do, but they're for a smaller battery in the wheel. It's not too bad, I feel like. And these are old. The new
I
ones are
pity your old
better.
shoulders, man.
Yeah, no,
I pity your old shoulders. When I see you guys pushing, I'm just like, no, 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 give me my power chair. I feel bad for your old shoulders.
I
Yeah.
mean that my honestly my right shoulder right now is a little torn up. Has been feeling it a bit. Uh, that's what. So this time when we were out in Joshua Tree pushing and stuff, there was a bigger monsoon that had come through right before, and then the first day we got there, when we got there on last Monday, um, or on the Tuesday actually, when we had the show, there was like a small monsoon and we had rain for a few hours, heavy rain for a short period, but then a little while. But it brought so much sand to the roads because they were more hard packed.
Uh,
So like there was areas of sand, like there was a couple spots where I just had to have Leah come. I had my wheels on the high drive with my freewheel, but I'm in like 6 inches of sand, like buried down
oh
into the
no,
wheel. And I couldn't. Yeah, I was pushing hard though. I was like my shoulders were getting it this week in the out there because the sand, man. But anyways,
sand and gravel
Speaking,
too. Pain in the ass.
and grass, especially, when you're not sure where the dips are, that's the worst. It's like, I go to a lot, I used to go to a lot of baseball games for my little league games for my grandson. And just, they're like, yeah, the field is all the way out there. And you're just like, oh crap. And even with the scooter, those dips, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, because it just dips down big old, and you don't see them when the grass is kind of thick. So can be a pain in the ass. But speaking of shoulders, for anybody here in the Southern California area, this weekend here in Irvine, Orange County, Irvine, there is a 5K race, the superhero race by Triumph going on. If you want more details, reach out to Sean or myself. Are you going, Sean?
I actually don't think we are going now.
Well, I'll be out there. I'm not going to race, but I registered. So anybody who wants a free registration to get into the race, I'll be happy to give you mine. Because speaking of shoulders, like you said, and this can be a whole nother topic for next time, is taking care of your shoulders, right? And I think that's what it's about. It's taking care of your shoulders. 36 years, pushing a chair. I still, don't feel that pain that I think I should. I know at night sometimes I'll sleep with, but I think it's more my neck. And if anybody can find the perfect pillow, please let me know because I cannot find it. But luckily, with stretching and good care of my shoulders, the reason why I wouldn't be doing the 5K race this Saturday is the course is not something that would be easy on my shoulders and my body. It has a lot of little ups and downs inside, where it slants to one side. So you're just like trying to keep your chair straight from not going off into the grass. So it just, it's the little things. And for me, I just, as much as I want to go out there, because this morning I did a 5K in my neighborhood, I like to do 3 miles a couple times a week. And I just, it's flat. I know the surface. I don't have to worry about this surface. So yeah. So if you're here in the Southern California area and want to participate, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm SCI Quadfather on Instagram.
I have your link to below. I have your link, and I have. I'm pretty sure I have Derek's. I think I did that when I set it all up. Also, Instagram linked below, so you guys can just click on that if you guys do want to follow either one, or yeah, to message Bobby about that. And yeah, and also I want to just mention, you don't have to go to compete to race if you think you're going to be slow. It doesn't matter. Everybody's there just having fun. It's a good time. Nobody's going to be there's plenty of people that go nice and slow and pace, and also plenty of people in power chairs, anything like power. You can come out in anything, walk, roll, run, bike, whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's open to any and all. It's just everybody just kind of come out. It's like a support, just hang out and do the little course. So yeah, it is a cool event. But guys like Bobby and I'd like to when I was going, like to compete for that fastest quad in a manual. Yeah, it is fun still to have that little bit of that. But all right, guys, we kind of got a little off topic from some of our from blood pressure AD stuff, but I feel like we did cover quite a bit of it, and at least shared a lot of what we kind of deal with and go through. But if you guys do have any other questions, reach out to any of us on Instagram, message us with any questions you have, and we'll for sure have other shows, and you can bring this up in other shows as well, even if it's not the topic. And we'll definitely have Derek back again too. He's obviously friend of the show channel, and he will be back. But let's go ahead and real quickly, I'm going to thank the sponsors, and then Derek, I'll let you kind of wrap it up and give us the last final thought for the day here. But let's thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals. If you are in the Southern California area, Mobility Professionals is a DME out here. So if you need a new wheelchair or a standing frame or anything like that, any of that bigger durable medical equipment, give them a call. They can help you get everything taken care of, get you measured up, get the right stuff out to you. And then Urology Professionals is their sister company, and they're nationwide. So if you need catheter supplies anywhere in the country, they can ship them directly to your doorstep. And again, they're just really great people that do care. They do contribute a lot and help it within the local community around here. They support us, obviously, so we do appreciate them. So please check them out if you need any of those supplies. We do appreciate their support and appreciate all of your support as well, watching and hanging out with us today during the show. And then make sure to tune back in on Thursday, and Bobby will actually be back on Thursday this week with another Rolling Over the Hill. So make sure to tune in to that on Thursday here and see what some old guys want.
Yeah, some old guys starting to complain. We're doing our good old product review. So we're going to be looking up and introducing some products that might be useful for you out in the community.
Awesome. Yeah, those ones are always really fun. You guys do those. So yeah, Bobby does a great job of doing the different product review stuff and highlighting different things and technologies and stuff like that. So make sure to tune in on Thursday at 3:30, guys. And if you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe, click that little bell so you get all those notifications. All right, Derek, you want to anything you want to kind of leave us with? Any words of wisdom or anything like that?
Well, yeah, since we were talking about AD, autonomic dysreflexia, I think, just remember you have to be your own expert with it, because most doctors are not familiar with it. Unless you're going to a spinal cord injury doctor, you're going to have to be your own advocate with it. So definitely do the research and your homework, and I think that's good with any disability, just to really get to know your complications, be an expert in those complications so you're familiar with them, because there's a lot of times when you're going to be the one that's the expert in the doctor's office, and they're going to be asking you questions. It's happened to me plenty of times.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that is honestly great advice for people because that is 100% true. And I have, I think probably like a lot of us out there have been in that situation where you have to be the one to explain the doctor or the ER nurse or whatever it is, what's happening to you and why it's so important. Like Lynn had even said before. Yeah, no, that's awesome, Derek. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and like Lynn said, they just won't even listen. That which is um, really sad. And you got to be real. Do your due diligence with them. If you have to get upset, you get upset. Just saying, listen, this is the way my body acts. I'm sorry. I'm not here to complain. You think I want to come into the ER? Because it's a pain in the ass to go to the ER, and it's not fun. So,
If they haven't, if they're not familiar, like if you go in for a visit and you tell them your complications and you go back in for another visit, and by that second visit, if they haven't at least done the research and familiarized themselves with those complications, it's time to look for a new doctor.
That's good advice, actually. That's a good point. That is,
and the,
yeah.
and the only hard thing, and I'm sure this was probably in Lynn's case too, ER doctors, they throw you an ER doctor until
Um,
maybe sometimes your doctor can get there if your doctor even goes into that hospital. But I think you said a good advice today, Derek, is have them call that Craig's hospital hotline, the nurse's hotline, and say, listen, can you just do me a favor and call that? It's 24 hours. Can you talk to them about if you're saying, I understand dysreflexia? Uh, no doctor really understands unless you're going through it. So please call them and they're going to give you advice. Please.
it's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah,
Yeah, that is great advice. And I actually might, on that note, I may even try to include next time, which I probably won't need to print new AD cards for a while, but next time I do, that's maybe another good little thing to add on there is the Craig um, hotline number for people. That's something, just a good piece of information for, might be good to have on you in those cases. So yeah, that's great information from both of you guys. Thanks. And yeah, that's super important. And like if it's in a case like where Lynn was in, where they don't want to listen, like like what Bobby said, if you have to get a little upset, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to make sure they understand the importance and the severity of the situation. So if you got to
you're
throw
the one
around
that's
stuff
going to be
like,
paying for
yeah,
it.
like exactly, like if you got to do the stuff where you throw around like stuff about like if you lawsuits, if they're gonna like cause damage, things, whatever, those usually things typically will scare sometimes doctors into caring slightly or pretend like they care for a period. But
And I already found it. This is how easy it is. Just Google Craig Hospital hotline number 800 It's open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's not 24 hours. I think I indicated 24 hours, but that is when it's open, closed on Saturdays and Sundays. So hopefully, but unfortunately, if you're like our family, it's always the weekend that something comes up. So once
Yeah,
again, 800-247-0257.
and maybe I had just thought of it during the show too, real quick before we wrap up. Maybe if your doctor would give you, like if you do have a normal physician, maybe give you some sort of paper that says like this is this patient's normal blood pressure range, like so then the doctor can in the ER might be able to be like, oh, okay, like if it's on doctor letterhead, it might show that like something. I don't know. That was just a thought I
that's
had
a
during the show and thought
that's a
maybe
good idea. Oh,
maybe
that's a
try.
great idea. I'm going to do that. I'm glad
Okay,
you brought
yeah.
that up. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, because that's just another piece of information you can have on you that shows like this is my normal. This is obviously out of range. Like, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
So that maybe that will help. I might even try to do that myself too. So it might be a good idea to try to do. So Derek, let me know if your
yeah,
doctor.
because yeah, they'll take it serious. I mean, that way they'll that's coming straight from doctor to doctor for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks. Yeah, that's cool. So Yeah, so hopefully you guys were able to take something from this. Hopefully something to help. And like we said, we can reach out to any one of us on Instagram. And if you have any questions or anything you're going through with AD or going through any of it, definitely try to do our best to help with any information we can. So, all right, guys, I think that's about it then. Wrap up the show. Thanks, Derek, again for coming on. Really appreciate you sharing some of your information, your knowledge, and your experiences with stuff. So, and thank you again, everybody that's watching. We appreciate you guys. We will see you next week. Live to roll, everybody.